Poor Shop Dog said we should do a video. We're building the neighbor's clam Yukon X Thermal XL. It's like a shorter version of my Jason Mitchell, and this will fit in the back of his Colorado, whereas the longer one means the tailgate's down. So this is perfect for what he wants. It's time for him to step up to thermal, because propane, you know, changing those things constantly gets old pretty quick. Also, in the newer ones, all the gray that they use, instead of everything used to be lined black inside, as if you were, you know, into spear fishing or something. Well, most people use these for actually just ice fishing or jig fishing. Having everything light like this means that your lights go a lot further, and it's just a lot nicer. So we'll take a couple pictures as we're going, just to give Shop Dog a chance. Okay, we're going to be adding lights to the sled, so we've got a pretty level line. We know where the center is. We know 18 inches off each center. So then they're just basic LED lights. They'll be mounted. They really make a big difference. They really help you see. And then we just run all the wiring in a loom around, because the battery bracket will be over here. You know, based on all of our experiences of using these things for years. So that's going to work out pretty nice. I did go up to the house and get some pipe cutters, because the other thing we want to add, and I hope I've got one big enough, is this is an LED light that goes in one of the overhead bars, and these are great. These are really, really great. So we just got to cut a 2-foot section out of there and get that prepped to go in. So that's a big part of what we're doing. It's going to be a lot better if that 1-incher works than using that stupid hacksaw. So we'll get into it. So we've got our holes drilled. We'll go ahead and pull the tape. And then these are not exactly rocket science to put in. You know, put a screw in, feed the wire through, bolt them on. Comes with the hardware. So I'll show you these when they're on. In a state of overkill, this battery bracket is a serious piece. This thing is, I think it could hold car batteries. So this is how those mount. See, it's nice. It's really nice when you're doing setup and tear down, when it's the only light you have. Shine it over here to remind you that there's 2 holes in the ice and not to step in them. So we'll get these all bundled together, and they'll run around to here, and then they'll have a little choo-choo, pop them all together, make it real, real nice. So we're getting there. Okay. He's putting up the spreader bar. And that's what your chair actually rides on. Gives you all the adjustment side to side. Also adds a ton of rigidity. So it's a good thing. Okay, we're starting to put brackets on. And then all he's got to do at this point is what we've learned over the years, is now that that's all being basically held, run some heavy duct tape across it, so that periodically over the course of the winter you can change it, but it keeps water from kind of dripping on it. And it's good enough. Once this is all together, you don't even notice it. Okay, here's one of the best parts about these newer big pole ones. Instead of pushing that stupid little button, you get these nice huge levers, which are great when you're freezing and your mittens are on your fingers. So now it's time to build up the seat brackets. Shop Dog don't care. He thinks it's boring. He's not into fishing. The first one put together. We don't have the covers on it yet. But this shows just how ingenious their little setup is. So not only do you get to rotate, you can slide in and out, but what they do is they got this little clip, so you can actually just pop it right out. So if only one guy's fishing, you only got to bring one. You know, and leave you all the room in the sled. Because they got some weight to them. Why carry that if you don't have to? This is probably good 20 pounds. Yeah. So why carry it if you don't have to? So let's get the other one built up. Okay, so we don't have the back clamped in yet. We're going to let her relax a little. But it turns out the Yukon is dark inside, so you still could use it as a spear house if you wanted. I use a Jason Mitchell, so mine is this color inside. I guess 6'1", half dozen of the other. Gets these nice big beautiful windows. There is a back door, which is handy when you're handing gear in and out. The windows, believe it or not, do let a lot of light in for winter. But pockets here, he's got a nice net up here. If your heater's sitting right there, all that heat's going to rise to keep your gloves all nice and toasty. So yeah, this is nice and cozy. This is going to work out pretty nice. Once she's warm and done stretching, there's this little U molding here, a big long strip of it that we will pop around here. It pinches it to the sled, and then you put some little Phillips self-tappers in there, and she's permanent. So we'll get a shot of that later. Okay, always the worst part on these is fighting that little retainer clip on the bottom. You just fight and fight and fight. The material, you know, you're basically pinching the tent in, and that is really, really, really stiff, and going around this corner, you know, just sucks. But we got it. Always a fight, but the beauty of these new ones is instead of the door being up front, with the door being in the side like this, one on each side, when you're out fishing, you usually got a hole right here. So if you're sitting here and the heater's right there, if you're sitting here and you got to go out for something, you can open that, go out, do what you got to do, come back in. Your Vexilar doesn't have to move. You don't step in the hole. You don't trip over the heater. And there's no downside there. So I think in a minute we're going to fold her up and see how she looks. Oh, ShopDog still doesn't care. He's not a fishing dog. ShopDog says, well, sorry, we were on the phone, so you didn't get to see it get folded. But there's the Yukon all folded with its travel cover on. It collapses down real nice and small. So the beauty of these things for the people that don't live somewhere that go ice fishing or anything like that, it's light, it's small, it's real easy if you're not catching fish to move. I know you watch Grumpy Old Men and you look at the big old permanent fish houses. Those are a lot more work to move around. So they have their place in the world, but if you actually want to catch fish, it's nice to stay mobile. So, okay. So that was just a fun little video for no reason. ShopDog enjoyed it.